I was looking through some old copies of the National Enquirer the other day and I came across an article that, while kind of crazy, felt like it might be true. The title of the article was Leave It to Beaver Star Battles Death, and the picture of Jerry Mathers that was on the cover really did look like he was at death's door, so I decided to do a bit of research, and here's what I found out. Back in April of 2001, NBC decided to have a little bit of fun with its Thursday night rival over on CBS, Survivor. The network's attitude was, if you can't beat them, make fun of them. So The Tonight Show with Jay Leno came up with their own version. Instead of regular folks, they got stars from 70s and 80s classic TV to compete. And instead of $1 million prize, well, the winner got bragging rights. Yeah, that's it. Just bragging rights. So getting to Jerry's scary moment. During a challenge, Jerry was asked to help his team by eating a live worm. Now, that team had Florence Henderson, Charlene Tilton, and Adam Rich, and he didn't want to let them down. So, while not exactly gourmet dining, Jerry thought it was all good fun. At least that's what I think everyone thought that. So he went for it and swallowed that worm whole, because that's what you do when you're on TV and you've got Jay Leno egging you on. So anyway, after the show, Jerry started to get really sick, and it turns out that little worm gave him a stomach infection. And I'm not talking about just a little old tummy ache. This one was serious. According to that article in the National Enquirer, Jerry suffered from rectal bleeding, abdominal pain, and, well, let's just say he had some big-time diarrhea. The infection was so bad that he lost 15 pounds and was stuck dealing with the aftermath for weeks. There are various other accounts out there about how serious it was. I can't tell if Jerry actually ended up in a hospital fighting for his life or if that part is an urban myth. However, I can assure you that he truly regretted eating that live worm on TV for laughs. This whole worm eating thing got me thinking about that classic young adult novel, How to Eat Fried Worms. You remember that one, right? It's about a kid who has to eat a whole bunch of worms over the course of a couple of weeks to win a bet. But in that story, just as the title indicates, the worms are fried. They're cooked up in a pan with all kinds of tasty toppings. And you know what? The kid survives just fine. No infections, no hospital visits, no drama. So maybe Jerry's problem wasn't the worm itself. It was the fact that it was raw. If only Jay Leno had handed him a fried worm with a side of ketchup, things might have turned out a little bit differently.